Am I the asshole for resetting the Wi-Fi router every day until my dad gives in to not controlling my internet? I'm a teenager, and he's taken to turning off my internet past bedtime and filtering websites. And obviously it's really shitty to control a teen's internet access, and I told him multiple times to not disrespect me like this, but he doesn't listen. So now, I've started a proxy war and I'm resetting the router every day until he stops trying to control it, and he's getting kinda pissed because he has to set up our printer and other stuff every time I do it. Am I the asshole? Info: how old are you? If you're 13 then you are the asshole, if you're 19 then you need to be sitting down with your parents to discuss this. If you're not looking after yourself, sleeping enough, waking up at a decent time, then I can understand the restrictions being put on the Wi-Fi. Does your dad know you're resetting the router? Because he's gonna come down hard on you eventually and probably remove all access to the Wi-Fi. You are the asshole. Your behavior is ridiculous. You are the asshole. You live with your parents, they choose how you live, that's kinda the deal. You're not paying rent, and having a decent bedtime is something you'll come to value later in life. I'm going to give your dad the benefit of the doubt and say that he isn't doing it maliciously, but rather to be a good protective father. You are the asshole. You realize he'll just cancel the internet, right? You are the asshole until you live on your own and pay all your own bills. He controls the internet access. Stop acting like a child and he may stop treating you like one. Greater than I told him multiple times to not disrespect me like this. Oh my god, if I had ever said this to my pops growing up. You are the asshole. Edit. That post history. Kid, your pops is right to put restrictions on your internet usage. Sheesh. Info: how old are you, and why has he placed the restrictions in the first place? Edit. You haven't answered anyone regarding on how old you are. So I can assume that you're young. With this being said, hear me out on this. You're a teen living with your parents and they don't want you to stay up past your bedtime browsing the internet, right? It's their home, their rules. They pay for the internet in the first place and your father is just being protective. You'll come to appreciate this later in your life. You live rent-free in his home. He pays for the internet, thus he does have control over it. If he wanted to, he can stop paying for it and shut off the home Wi-Fi. You live in his home, you live by his rules. If you paid for your own internet, that'd be a different story. But you don't. So why don't you stop being a spoiled brat and start listening to him, because you'll come to regret that later. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. How about you offer to pay for the internet? You are the asshole. The more you act like a turd and carry on your little proxy war, you're just proving that he's right to set boundaries for you. Just go to bed. You're a literal child demanding that your dad not disrespect you over Wi-Fi that he pays for in his home. Child, please. You are the asshole. Parents' house. Parents' rules. When you pay for internet you can do whatever you want. I'm sure your parents deal with enough bullshit already. They don't need your on top. You are the asshole. If you don't pay for the Wi-Fi it's not your choice what he does with it. Unfortunately it sucks having him do this, but once again you do not pay for it. I understand that it's frustrating not being able to use Wi-Fi after a certain time and that he's blocking sites, but that doesn't mean you have to start a proxy war. If you chipped in for the Wi-Fi, which it doesn't sound like you do, then it'd be a different story. You are the asshole. Until you pay for your own internet your dad has right to do whatever he wants, including turning it off past bedtime and controlling what websites you can access. YTA. I assume your dad is doing that because you have had trouble following the household rules on internet usage. How would you even know the Wi-Fi is off after bedtime unless you try to use it when you aren't supposed to? You are living in his house and using his internet that he pays for. If you don't like the rules, try putting together a proposal about why you believe they should be modified and present it to him like someone that deserves to be treated as an adult and not a child. Right now your passive-aggressive behavior is just proving his point that you aren't mature enough to handle more freedom online. You are the asshole. If either of my two little children ever did what you're doing, I would simply call the company and cancel the internet completely, then go into their room and start confiscating everything. Electronics, TV, games, phone, etc. If they want to disrespect my authority as their parent, they're gonna learn the hard way that life isn't a cakewalk and that someone, dad and mom, paid for all their luxuries. Said luxuries aren't essential for sustaining their life, so they can do without them, and will have to earn their stuff back the hard way. Grow up and go apologize to your parent, Then thank him for your existence and supporting your entitled, spoiled ass. You are the asshole. Learn to read a book. You are the asshole, kiddo. You haven't answered any of the questions in regards to your age either, so we have to assume you are younger. We don't have a lot of context other than he bans you from certain sites, which a responsible parent would regardless for your own safety. Safety of course being the #1 concern as a parent for their kids. It would be nice for everyone if you could answer the question in regards to your age so that people can actually answer properly here, because at the moment your age is really the major factor here. A lot of answers including my own would actually change depending on your age and your contribution to your home. You are the asshole. If you were my child and I saw your Reddit post history, I'd restrict your internet usage too. I imagine your browser search history isn't much better either. You are the asshole. 4-year-olds throw tantrums. The fact that you know to use internet, and write decent sentences. I come to the conclusion you're not 4 years old. Stop acting like one. Your father puts a roof above your head, and pays for the internet. That means he makes the rules, you don't have to like them but needs to respect them. How old are you? How late are you staying up? What are you up to that he objects to? You are the asshole. I get that you're annoyed, but part of being a teenager and living rent-free in your parents' house is following their rules. I didn't have heat in my bedroom at night in the winter growing up because my dad said my electric heat was too expensive. You can deal with 8 hours of no internet. You are the asshole. Go live somewhere else if you can't handle living by his rules. YTA I turn off the internet so my kid cleans, and if he wants Xbox, I also make him clean up every day. You are the asshole. If you hate it, move out. You are the asshole. You don't like it? Get a job, move out and support yourself. Entitled brat. You are the asshole. From the look of your other posts, you really do need a internet bedtime. You are the asshole. Unless you pay for the internet you don't control it. Also he obviously does not want you in it at night, which is why he turns it off. Also what websites did he block you from? Info. What websites are you trying to access at night to make him take this action? Also, how old are you? You are the asshole. Seriously. What are you, 5 years old? Dude, he's your father. Respect him first before you rant on about getting respect. SMH. You are the asshole. I could go for NaH for an older teen that hasn't displayed any behavioral problems because TBH I do find it disrespectful for somebody well adjusted to be limited like that, but looking at your post history you're not mature enough to be left alone fully unfiltered online. I hope he's blocking shit like 4chains, not just porn. You are the asshole. LMAO, I told him multiple times to not disrespect me like this. Bro, you live in his house, don't disrespect him by resetting the router. You are the asshole. No, actually, it isn't shitty to control the internet access of a teen, it's a parental duty. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess the reason he's restricting your hours is because you're abusing the privilege. Keep it up. You sound like you're about a week from having your computer confiscated entirely, and about 2 from having every privilege you currently enjoy revoked. For example, access to cash while he spends the money that would have gone to you on physically securing the router against you. You can have full control over your internet when you're an adult and paying for your own internet service in your own house. You are the asshole. If you don't like your dad's internet rules then move out and pay your own expenses. But I'm guessing you aren't legally the age to move out, so guess what? His house, his rules. You're the asshole here. It's also not shitty to control a teen's internet access. You're his child and he is setting rules and boundaries while you live there. You have a bedtime you have to follow, set by your dad. Significant other go to bed. You are the asshole. I thought your name looked familiar. I saw your rant post when it was originally posted, and all I'm going to say is I wouldn't be surprised if you've been posted in Nice Guys before. Everyone please look through Op's previous posts. I mean, for fuck's sake. They were going to falsely accuse someone of rape because they were being picked on. You need therapy, and possibly a lobotomy hospital. Irrelevant. You are the asshole. If you live in your parents' house you live by the rules they make. The fact you are hinging your entire plan on frustrating your father until he gives in is a massive sign you're a prick. Greater than obviously it's really shitty to control a teen's internet access. Not it isn't. It isn't at all. It is the right thing to fucking do, you dummy. Wait until he pulls out the trump card and quits paying for the internet. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. You're a child and have a bedtime. Your parents are within their rights to turn off the internet if you spend all night up instead of sleeping. Sleep is important. Try and get into good sleep habits now by not being on your devices an hour before bedtime and save yourself a lifetime of sleep problems and bad habits to deal with later. You are the asshole. He pays for it, he decides who gets what access to it and when. You're proving a point that you're not mature enough to be trusted with unlimited access internet. I think asshole is too strong of a word for a child. If you were mine, I would put a lock on a box which contained the router and modem. I would also lock your devices up until you learned how to behave. Sorry, not sorry. You are the asshole, and don't be surprised if dad adds some punishment. You aren't an adult and don't have the privileges of an adult. He is parenting you, however much you resent it, and nothing you're doing is going to convince him you would do well with less supervision. You are the asshole. It's his house, you don't like it, too bad. Do you pay for the internet? Do you pay bills? If not, get over it. And how exactly is it your internet? You are the asshole. ROFL, you need to earn respect first. And you can go get a job and buy your own internet if you want. Porn. Smirk thinking face goblin rolling on the floor laughing. You are the asshole. If you want to have unfettered internet access, buy your own. His house, his rules. You are the asshole. You're a right entitled little bastard, aren't you? You are the asshole, and in your dad's position, I'd take away all your devices until you can be respectful. I don't expect my child to obey every rule I set, that's just unrealistic, but even a 4-year-old knows that throwing a tantrum doesn't change the rule, respectful disagreement does. I've changed my mind on rules I've set due to her explanations on why it isn't fair. And again, she's 4. Grow up and use your words. You don't deserve internet access at all if you can't be respectful IRL. Info. What websites are they blocking? Why are they blocking websites? I disagree with the comments saying age is relevant. Whether you're 14 or 19, you should be old enough to navigate the internet, and your parents should be stepping back and giving you more control. However, the amount of freedom you deserve depends on your actions. What matters more is the content they are blocking and the reasoning behind it. Is it because you're getting radicalized by bad viewpoints on 4chan? Porn. Are you bullying? Or do they just not like Snapchat? Edit. Looked at your post history lol. I'm going to go. You are the asshole because I have a feeling your parents have a point. For your own good, take a break from the internet and go outside. Either this is a troll account or you need the fucking internet taken from you ASAP. Your post history is a bloody dumpster fire. You are the asshole. If you don't pay the internet bill, you don't get to mess with it. You are the asshole. Stop being a whiny little shit. You are not entitled to having internet access, especially unrestricted. It is your parents' internet as they pay for it. You better be prepared to have all your electronics confiscated and sold.